I'm reciting, this is like my paraphrase of Ken's sort of thing, so I'm like recycling the teaching as a student who's trying to figure this out myself. But this like totally nailed it for me, so I'm trying it out. So in every moment, that's how it arises. It's non-dual suchness. And we, as individuals, fall down the stairs, as it were, the stairs being our self-contraction. We fall down the stairs as far as we've developed up. Okay? So, that's the whole where you're on the map. So how to find out where you're on the map is to ask, well, how far do you fall down the stairs? Okay? So, we'll use me as an example, so we don't put any of you all on the spot. And I'll show you kind of how you can do this in a real lighthearted way. So I look at the tree. Shit, I'm not one with a tree. That's pretty simple. Non-dual's out. Okay? Fall down the stairs. The second that happens, I mean, it's indetectable. But the second I'm not one with the tree, when I perceive it as a phenomenon, that is the start of the relative realm in the contemplative traditions. That is the first subject-object dualism. It's the entrance of ignorance. And boom, here we go on this wild ride of samsara. Okay? So then we got the next stair to potentially fall down or not, which is causal. So, if we contract out of non-dual, the causal ground, emptiness, let's use the witness as our anchor for causal in this example. So if I see the tree, in this moment, am I witnessing the tree as arising through the eyes of the true self? Through the eyes, to use the metaphor from this morning, of God. You're thinking, well, what does that feel like? How would I know? You know. Just locate that in yourself. Kind of do this along with me. So I'm looking at the tree. Nope. Not the true self looking at the tree. Still just looks like a tree. So I fall down the stairs. And this is about just my development expressing itself in the moment. Now again, I'm falling down the stairs as far as I've developed up. Okay. So then, a little bit more self-contraction. We contract out of causal and into subtle. And look at the tree. And then it's a question of whether or not I'm experiencing the tree as a phenomenon as more than just a material, physical reality. When I perceive the tree, does it have life? Does it have a life force of itself? Does it have an energetic component? Is it more than just a piece of wood for me to chop down and do what I will with? Are you perceiving every phenomenon? It's more than just trees, but tables as well, and also people. When I look at Jesse as a phenomenon arising right now, do I perceive Jesse as more than just a bag of skin with some bones, who has behaviors? Answer it with me. No? Bear's falling downstairs. Yeah.
Big piece of
A bunch of DNA just associated. And can you feel the energetic field in this moment as Jesse's arising between us? I told you, you shift your posture, you're looking at me with a change in your eyes. That is an aspect of subtle. So thank God I stopped falling down the stairs. The self-contraction stops. And now my state self, remember one aspect of it, my state self is now what we call the soul. And, this changes moment to moment. When I'm really pissed and angry, I fall all the way down the stairs to gross. Sometimes I even go like pre-gross. It's like, you see gross objects and then you want to destroy them. This is very flexible. This is very fluid. So when we say, where are you stabilized at on this map, it's this open, flexible, fluid question about, where are you in this moment? So it goes back to what Jesse shared in the circle. Where are you at this moment? How much consciousness are we bringing in this moment? And it just happens to be that the answer to that, where we are at the moment, has some relation to our development along that path. So again, That's the move from this macro, where are we on the path, what stage are we at, what rung of the ladder, to, that's useful information, but where am I at in the moment? That's the move from macro to micro. Okay. So that's my piece on diagnosing where you're at, stage to stage. We're going to stop and kind of play with that for a second.
If I understand correctly, you just described the falling down the stairs of the horizontal stairs,
Yes.
not the vertical stairs.
No. Horizontal stairs, 100%. Real quick on falling down the vertical stairs, you don't actually fall down. The falling metaphor, like imagine falling down the stairs, right? That's got to feel like the universe contracting from oneness to Clint. That's got to suck. That's got to be really painful in some cosmic sense. That's suffering, right? That's samsara. That's why we get the stair metaphor. With vertical spectrum in the microgenetic, we choose. So if we've developed, say, the green, and we have the capacity to do third-person perspectives, if we want to do first, we choose to do first. Like we chose to do first person in the exercise this morning. Now we can't choose to do fifth, but we've developed to it. So there's not so much of falling down the stairs in the vertical sense. Because transcendent and who? We bring up those capacities. States, they just function a little bit differently. Why? Because they're ever present. And because we got this whole messy self-contraction spiritual thread to it. Does that make sense? All right. Are we sitting in an okay place with the whole stage thing? One half of our, yeah. This can also be a very productive conversation to have one-on-one. So if you want to chat about your personal situation more so, let's chat. And will you remind me again, what was the end time? 3:45. 3:45. And it's 3:15 right now, right? Okay. So here's what we're going to do, guys. These are the review. These are the principles. This is taking forward the stuff we've talked about. I'm going to go through this quick. If you are trying to write them down, I'll just make sure I send this to you through a note. Again, a review. So, integral leaders, what do? Given all this crap we've talked about with theory, well, they just get on the path of cultivating freedom and fullness. Boom. Pretty simple. No, not really. This is your life we're talking about. So, fine point on this. It does. Make sure you hear this. It doesn't matter where you are on these paths. It honestly does not matter. It matters, do you know where you're trying to head? That's the essence of bringing into this one. Are you trying to actively cultivate your growth and expansion in both these dimensions? Okay, that's our principle, that's what we're calling them, kind of associated with charisma. In the realm of vision, we got this one. Integral leaders use the best maps, and then they make sense of those maps through aqua. Okay? So what does that mean? It doesn't mean integral leaders use aqua. Hear me out on this. We're not saying, hey, here's aqua, what's the best thing on that you could use, and it's the only thing you should use, and if you don't use it, you're not integral. What we're saying is, use what you need to use. Go from theorist to theorist, and program to program, and tool to tool in your professions and in your practices. Both spiritual practices, but also leadership. I mean, God, there's only 8,000 books you can get. Find the best ones. Use the fifth discipline when you want to learn about systems, principles, right? And cycles. Use Goleman's work on emotional intelligence when you need to bring your work team or yourself up a little bit in your emotional IQ. They're great maps. Use them. Then set them in an aqua context. Make sense of them through the lenses of aqua. What does that look like? It says, hey, even though it seems like in the fifth discipline, Sangha tries to act like he's covering all the quadrants, really the upper left and the upper right only get covered in 2 chapters, and they're not really a full treatment, so it's really a solid lower right tool. So I'm going to use it for that. And I'm not going to make them